Hey, welcome to Sermon After Sunday, a midweek podcast from Graceway Baptist. These short episodes are meant to help Sunday's message stay with us throughout the week, not just in the room on Sunday morning. So whether you're driving, working, or just taking a moment to breathe, we're really glad you're here. Let's take a few minutes to look at Sunday's message and let it keep working in us. In our last episode, we looked at what James calls dead faith, a faith that talks but never acts. We will be focusing on James 2:21 through 26 today. James shifts gears and shows us what living faith actually looks like. He points to two very different people, Abraham and Rahab. Abraham was the patriarch, the respected father of the Jewish people. Rahab was a Gentile woman with a very messy past. On the surface, they had nothing in common except this: their faith moved them to act. James says Abraham's faith was active together with his works, and that his works completed his faith. That word completed doesn't mean that he earned salvation, but it means his faith matured. It reached its intended expression. Think of it like this. When you plant a seed in the ground, you don't immediately see fruit, but if the seed is alive, growth is inevitable. Over time, roots form, a stem pushes up, leaves unfold, and eventually there is fruit. The fruit doesn't create the life of the seed, it reveals it. Abraham trusted God years before he offered Isaac, but when his obedience was tested, his actions demonstrated that his trust was real. Rahab did the same. She believed that the God of Israel was the true God, and she risked her life to act on that belief. Their works didn't replace their faith. Their works proved faith. Now, this is where people sometimes think James and the Apostle Paul disagree. But Paul says that we are justified by faith apart from works. James says faith without works is dead. But they're addressing two different errors. Paul confronts people trying to earn salvation, and James confronts people claiming salvation without evidence. Paul talks about the root of salvation. James talks about the fruit. And here's the key line for today. Works do not make faith alive, but living faith always works. Let me give you one last illustration. Imagine someone tells you they're married. They say, yes, I made vows, I'm committed, but they never go home, they never speak to their spouse, they never share life together. At some point, you'd question whether that relationship is real, because love expresses itself. In the same way, faith expresses itself. Not all at once, not without mistakes, but little by little. Living faith grows legs. It walks towards obedience. It moves towards generosity, and it chooses forgiveness. It risks comfort for the sake of Christ. And here's the beautiful part. We don't obey to earn God's love. We obey because we already have it. So the question isn't, am I doing enough works? The question should be, is my faith alive? Because when faith is alive, obedience becomes an act of worship, not a checklist. And over time, that kind of faith becomes visible, not because we're trying to prove something, but because living things grow. Thanks for taking time to reconnect again this week for Sermon After Sunday. We'll see you at Church Sunday as we continue the series, Built to Last.